This is a tragedy of the worst kind because there was no indication in time to save people. We know we've lost 2 people already.
New York City rocked by a blast that took out 2 buildings in the East Harlem area of the city. Here is what we know right now. 2 people are confirmed dead, both women. At least 28 are hurt, some of them critically. Those injuries include 2 FBI agents and an off-duty officer. Several more people are missing. It appears that a gas leak is to blame. And here's just an example of how powerful this was. You can see all of the debris that is strewn all over this area, very heavily populated, as you would expect in East Harlem. There you can see cars that have been just covered by that huge explosion from earlier today. It's spread out across railroad tracks and a parking lot, and they're still on the scene trying to figure out exactly what happened. Chris Pallone is there too. He's got the story from New York.
A smoldering pile of brick and metal is all that's left of 2 East Harlem apartment buildings.
People that were living in the building, they flew out when the blast hit, and it knocked everybody into the debris.
People say they felt the blast from up to a mile away.
My windows, I heard boom, and my windows rattled. I ran out the apartment because it sounded much closer than it was.
I'm on the 12th floor, so it's pretty high up for the building to be shaking. Never seen anything like that or heard or felt anything like that before.
The explosion scattered debris into the street, onto nearby buildings, even onto the elevated tracks of the adjacent Metro North Railroad. It happened around 9:30 in the morning. The buildings that collapsed were 5 stories tall and contained a church and piano store along with apartments.
It's all gone. There's no building left at all.
New York Mayor Bill de Blasio says someone reported a gas smell in the area. Crews arrived to investigate just moments after the buildings exploded.
From what we know now, the only indication of danger came about 15 minutes earlier when a gas leak was reported to Con Edison.
Once the fire is out, firefighters will start pouring through the rubble, looking for people who might be trapped. Many families wonder if loved ones were home when the buildings exploded, hopeful that they were someplace safe instead. It doesn't appear that there were any New York City permits allowing work to go on in the 2 buildings. However, one of the buildings did have some gas line replaced last June. In East Harlem, Chris Pallone, NBC News.
Of course, there's much more investigation to go on there. We'll check back with Chris and NBC with any other details as they warrant.